take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
It's time!
It's Sunday, May 16th, 2021. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Tabor Cragen.
My name is Mason Knight. This is episode 74, UFC 262 recap. After that, we jump into some MMA news, and then we talk about the Font versus Garbrandt preview show. But before we do all that, Tabor, where do we begin?
With our social media accounts, as always, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, by the way, and also Gab for you free speech lovers. There's too many of them. At the Church of MMA. Go and follow us. Hit us up. We're trying to post funny memes. We're always trying to make you guys laugh. Hit us up.
Yeah. All right, let's jump into this, man.
No.
Okay.
YouTube. Always have to shout out YouTube.
Right, of course, YouTube.
Guys, we are live right now on YouTube. We are streaming. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel so you never miss a live stream. We just had a pretty crazy fight companion last night, I'd say.
yeah, you can say that.
Yeah. We'll get into that.
Yeah,
we'll get into that.
We will.
I'm dying as we speak right now of E. coli. But before we even talk about that, church merch, Teespring at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you want a t-shirt, a mug, a face mask, go get it. It's all for sale. Everything goes back to the show. We are trying to upgrade the production as we speak. Only doing it for you guys, the fans. Now we can get into it.
All right. Well, dude.
We have to have the Sheamus plugs.
Yeah, of course. Let's talk about UFC 262. Let's talk about this main event. Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler. Tabor, is this how you saw the fight going down?
Fuck no. Jeez, man. Let's just start by the first round. Like, the first round was wild. Michael Chandler was just marching him down. Like I said, he probably would, and like he did in the Hooker fight. He was going for those big body shots. Oliveira was trying to keep his distance, throwing the teep kicks. But when Oliveira took his back, and then Chandler did the one thing that has never worked in the history of MMA, slammed the man down on his back, and 99.9% of the time, they finished the submission after that. I was shocked that Chandler was able to get out of that bad position and then outstruck him and almost finish him at the end of the first round. That was wild, dude.
It was.
That was completely wild. And then for the second round, for Oliveira to come out and hit the perfect check left hook, drop Chandler, then go in for the kill the way he did, it was so impressive, dude. It was so impressive. What a fucking wild main event.
What a wild main event. What a story. I mean, for both of these guys, like Michael Chandler being the former Bellator champ, coming over to the UFC, doing what he did to Dan Hooker, and then getting this shot. Dana White constantly said it. Timing is everything in this sport. And for him to have such a big opportunity like this, and then a guy like Charles Oliveira, too. A guy who's been fighting 11 years in the UFC since 2010. This guy was kind of the dark horse, the one that was forgotten about. And I remember saying that about a year and a half ago, where I was like, Charles Oliveira is the dark horse in this lightweight division. He goes out there and does something incredible, puts on an incredible performance. I thought Michael Chandler was going to finish him in the first round.
Yeah.
I really did,
I've seen fights get ended way faster than that.
Right. He was barraging him with punches, and it's just a testament to how tough Charles Oliveira is and how much he wanted that gold. And that's what he did Saturday night. And what a phenomenal main event. And there's no better fight, for the vacant lightweight belt than what we saw last night.
Mm-hmm. Do you know that awesome meme of that old man with the dollar bill on the end of a fishing line?
Yeah.
He's like, gotta be so close, gotta be quicker than that. Yeah. That's what happened with Chandler. He was so close. He could smell the gold. So close. And then just the perfect punch.
Yep.
The perfect punch. It was wild. It was so wild. It was a complete 180. Chandler was going for the kill in that second round. And then he got caught. I feel bad for the guy because that could not have happened to a better guy. But at the same time, it's like, it's a love-hate relationship because, one, I love Charles Oliveira and I love Chandler. It's just, I didn't want to see either guy lose. It's just one of those situations you feel the highs and the lows at the same time. You know what I mean?
For sure. And I feel like that's kind of the theme of this card is like, you were so excited for the guys who won, but then devastated for the ones that lost.
Absolutely.
Obviously we'll talk about the co-main event later, but wow. The number one question stemming from this fight now is what is next for Charles Oliveira? Who will get the next title shot?
I think it's easy, right? Right?
I know, but I have to set up the question, right?
Well, yeah, I get it. It's Dustin Poirier, my guy. It's Dustin. He's gonna go knock out. He's gonna go knock out McNuggets, and then we're gonna get that fight. That was the fight they wanted in the first place. Dustin turned it down. He wanted the quote unquote money fight. He's probably getting $200K. It's just it's weird.
Yeah,
it's weird. I mean, I would almost how many wins is it he's gonna take for Chandler to get back in the title picture? That's almost what I'm more interested in, because we already know what's next with Oliveira. Like, how many wins does this man need to put together before he's back?
You beat a guy like Justin Gaethje, you're right back in the mix.
I think so as well. I think you've read my mind. You read my mind. That's the matchup to make, correct?
Gaethje's coming off a loss to coming off a loss to the champ Khabib Nurmagomedov, and then Michael Chandler just coming off this loss to Charles Oliveira, who's now the new lightweight champion of the world. That's the perfect matchup, and that's the dream matchup. Stylistically, that is a banger. That's probably the best fight you could put in the lightweight division outside of a championship fight with Charles Oliveira right now. I love that.
Where does Conor fit into all of this?
Conor can go fight Jake Paul in boxing. Like, come on, dude. Like, I don't... McNuggets, he's not... I'm sorry. Like, I will troll Conor. I don't want to see him fight. Like,
so disrespectful.
And I mean, he's done a lot for the sport, man. He's done a lot for the sport. He's brought a lot of eyeballs to the sport, and I just think Conor's at a different path in his career and in his life, and rightfully so. The guy literally made $180 million. He was Forbes' #1 athlete this year for making money. And what did he do? Beat Cowboy Cerrone and lost to Dustin Poirier, and he made $180 million. Mm-hmm. But when you have that kind of money, when you have that fame, that success, like, you don't train as hard as guys like Michael Chandler, like Charles Oliveira, like Justin Gaethje, like Dustin Poirier. The list goes on and on and on. You get what I'm trying to say here. But so for me with Conor, like, I'd rather just see spectacles. Because, like, he's never going to fight for a belt again.
No, do like Nate Diaz or
unless he goes out and beats Poirier. But I don't see that happening, man. No. I really don't. Like, I don't think Conor trains hard enough.
Would I be shocked if he knocked Poirier out? No. Because, he looked very good in that first round of that rematch the first time. But was that Dustin just kind of...
feeling him
out? But it's like, it really, once Dustin exploded in that second round, that's when the finish came. But, I was saying Conor was winning that fight until then. So maybe Dustin... was just being a slow starter in that matchup. Who knows? Yeah. It's just it could be. I think it's interesting with this third matchup, but yeah, I'm rolling with Dustin.
And I think one of the tall tale signs with Conor too is, like, if you go back and watch that when he got knocked out, the guy was breathing so fucking hard. Like, we all know this. Conor, the later the fight goes, the better chance you have of beating him. Mm-hmm. And again, I go back to the training. I go back to his lifestyle. It's like, this guy, when you make $200 million, you don't train the same way that you do when you're hungry, when you're on the up and up. So for me, I never see Conor McGregor winning a belt again.
No, absolutely. So
I really don't.
Ant W, shout out to you, my guy. Where were you last night? You said you had a party going on. Put our live stream on during the party, my guy. Come on. Just joking, boss. If Dustin wins, he gets a title shot. If Conor wins, Gaethje will get the shot. I disagree, my guy. If Conor wins, Dana is giving him the fucking shot. Like, there's no way that doesn't happen. That's why they're making this third fight. He needs, if Conor gets one fucking win in the division, they're gonna be pushing for that title shot, and Oliveira is gonna say yes.
Well, why wouldn't he?
He would be an idiot to say no.
Yeah.
Like, either he would actually be scared he loses that matchup. It's like, come on, you're not losing that matchup, bro. You're not losing that matchup, bro.
Charles takes him down, submits him in the first round.
Yes.
Easy as that.
Yes.
Easy as that. Charles makes easy work of McGregor.
Yes.
If
unless they stay on the feet, but even on the feet, I think it's a great matchup for Oliveira. Maybe not. Who knows? Anything could happen. This is the wildest sport ever. So anything could happen. But Conor needs one win over a big name, and he's in the match. He's in the fucking title.
It's so
shot.
wild.
It's crazy.
It's so wild.
It's crazy. I don't get it. I don't understand it at all. He beat fucking Cowboy.
I know.
And we just said last week that Cowboy's done, essentially. Like, he needs to be done. He shouldn't be fighting the UFC right now.
I don't understand it. I do from a business aspect. He brings eyes. Everyone's going to pay for it, but ugh.
I don't think the UFC wants to give Conor the shot since he only has 2 fights left on his deal. That's why Dana has been reluctant to say the winner gets the shot. Maybe. You got a point, maybe. Well, it just depends who are the biggest money fights for his last 2 fights. It's a Nate Diaz, correct?
Yeah. For sure. Nate Diaz or
so that's
Jorge
got to be one of them. Yeah.
And see, those are spectacle fights that I would love to see. that I'd be more excited to pay $70 for than a mauling like Charles Oliveira going out there and submitting Conor in the first round. I don't want to see that because I already know Conor's losing that fight.
Yeah.
Now, do I want to see Conor McGregor, Jorge Masvidal? Hell yeah, that'd be a great fight at 170. Or a Conor McGregor, Nate Diaz at 170. Hell yeah, sign me up for that.
Absolutely.
Those are fights that Conor could win. They'd be fun and entertaining. You know, the striking matchup would be superb. Those are the fights I want to see for Conor. I don't want to see a belt run because it's just Conor doesn't have it in him. He doesn't. He doesn't train at the same level as these guys anymore, and that's just a damn truth. So.
Yeah. So let's get back to the main event with Charles and Chandler. So Chandler got finished, obviously. Do they push him right into a Justin Gaethje match, or do they make him wait 6 months? Does he want to wait 6 months? I mean, he has said that he has been essentially training for about 50. He said he took 7 days off in like 53 weeks or something like that. Yeah. So essentially, he's been training nonstop for this.
Well, I think
he needs some time.
December. That's where I'm shooting. That's
Is Justin going to sit out that long though, or does he fight someone else?
For a fight like Chandler, maybe. And, I mean, well, think about this, okay? Tony Ferguson just lost number 5. Beneil Dariush beat him. We'll jump into that later, but I have to bring it up because it's the same division, okay? Beneil Dariush said he's not fighting till the end of the year. Or even into next year because he's having a kid. At this point, like, yeah, maybe we might be able to get Michael Chandler in October with Gaethje. I think that's reasonable too, but it's going to be towards the end of the year no matter what. Because you got Beneil Dariush and Justin Gaethje. That's it. That's really all he can match up against right now.
Well, I would have said Islam Makhachev, but Islam's already fucking fighting someone else. And we'll get into that later with MMA news because I'm probably going to have a fucking rant.
Yeah,
how stupid it is. Anyways, congratulations to the new champ, Charles
Absolutely.
Oliveira. I mean,
what a story.
I hope he is one of these guys that defends his belt 2-3 times a year because this is the best division in the entire world. This is the most electric division. It has the best fighters without a doubt. And I want to see this belt defended. I don't want to see it sat on for too long. I'm not saying Khabib sat on the belt. He didn't. He actually defended it.
Yeah.
You know,
but he also had religious duties, Ramadan, which made it hard to defend it, you know, 3 times a year.
Yeah. Then to shout out to the Muslim fighters that did fight during Ramadan. Could you imagine doing training camps and cutting weight while you're fucking fasting and stuff like that? That's crazy. I can't believe some of these guys are just complete savages. Yeah. But yeah, congratulations to the new champ. Only wish the best for Michael Chandler as well. If he gets that Justin Gaethje fight and he wins, is that title shot worthy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The guy who lost to Khabib Nurmagomedov, the greatest of all time, and a guy who just lost to Charles Oliveira to get that rematch with him, absolutely.
So the winner of that fight gets a shot?
Yep.
Okay. Yep. I mean, think about the matchups you could
have. Unless, of course, Dustin goes out and beats McGregor again.
Well, that's after that. Yeah, so that fight's going to have to happen first, and then the winner of Chandler, Gaethje, could get a shot after that. But think about the matchups you could have. Chandler, Dustin, Gaethje, Dustin 2. Oh my God!
Yeah, there's a lot of great matchups. So you throw Dariush into the mix too.
Yeah, you know, or even Oliveira. Think you imagine Oliveira Gaethje if he beats Dustin?
Fuck, that'd be fun.
Fucking fun fight. I can't wait for this division, dude. I'm so glad we have moved on. There's a new lightweight champion, and it's the most deserved guy. Like he's on a 9-fight winning streak right now. I think it's the longest active win streak in the UFC. It's crazy. Congratulations to the new champ.
Absolutely.
All right, let's get into our church coin bets. I put 500 on Chandler. Did not work out for me.
Yeah, I put 500 on Oliveira, and he ended up going out there and winning. At a minus 130, I won 385 church coin.
All right, Tony Ferguson, Beneil Dariush for the co-main event of the evening. Man, I'm happy for Beneil, but it's like, fuck. This is literally one of my favorite fighters, and I just hate seeing him on the streak he is, man. I mean, just, I want to say a fall from grace. Because, I mean, this man was the best lightweight in the world for the longest time, other than a Khabib Nurmagomedov.
11 or 12 straight.
Yeah, and now we're just seeing it just falling off. Like, no disrespect to Beneil Dariush, because he is an elite contender in this division, and he proved it last night. Yeah. Not only with his striking, but his fucking takedowns and his jiu-jitsu. Everything flowed perfectly, and he did exactly what he needed to do to win that fight. It sucks because it's against a guy that just everyone loves, and this whole community gets around. Is Tony done? Like, I'm not going to say he's done in the UFC. He's obviously going to have fights, but I mean, like, is he ever going to be in title contention again?
So here's the thing: we have to look at Tony Ferguson and what he was able to do in this lightweight division. A former interim champ, Won 11 or 12 fights in a row. I keep going back and forth. What is it? Is it 11 or 12?
I think it was 11.
11 fight, whatever. Either way, it's super impressive, right? 11, 12 fights in a row. He has been on a skid, okay? Yeah. He lost to Justin Gaethje, which I think that ended up taking a lot out of him.
Yeah.
That fight was brutal. I mean, remember when he was shaking his head and they ended up having to call it? Because, I mean, this guy is so incredibly tough. Almost got his arm broken against Charles Oliveira.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then the heel hook.
The heel hook with Beneil Dariush. I mean, say what you will about Tony Ferguson. This guy might be one of the toughest dudes to ever step in the octagon.
What does it take to get a man like that to tap?
You have to literally snap his shin.
Yes.
Or snap his elbow.
So his knee popped. Ask Beneil. Yeah. He said he heard a loud pop. His knee popped multiple times.
Yep. And his ankle did too.
Yeah.
Oh, God. His ankle was like flimsing. Oh, my God, bro.
And he went out and fought.
I know.
He fought another round like that. So fucking tough. Without a doubt, one of the toughest guys in the UFC. Right up there with Shane Burgos, I would fucking say. Like, that man just marches through shit too. It's crazy. And I have to say it. Do they do what they did to Tyron Woodley that they're I can't even talk. Are they going to do Tony the way they did Tyron? Like, he's on a 3-fight losing streak now. One more, is it done? Is he cut from the UFC? Do they want him to pay those paychecks? Because he's getting paid. Not the biggest money in the world.
But he's definitely getting
the
champ clause.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is a great point to make from a business standpoint here.
Because that's exactly what happened with Tyron. Like, one, Dana doesn't like him because of, the R-word stuff.
Yeah.
And Tony, I mean, how is his relationship with Dana? I'd love to know that.
Well, obviously his relationship's pretty good.
I would think so.
He asked Dana, he was like, "Hey man," he goes, "Are we gonna bump up the win bonuses?" And he goes, "Yeah, let's do it." He bumped the bonuses up from 50 to 75K. So I think Tony's got a good relationship with Dana. But I was watching the post-fight conference. And Dana said, I don't know. Maybe that's a question we got to start asking here.
He goes, Father Time's undefeated, essentially.
It is.
Maybe it's caught up to him.
Because, I mean, at this point, like, who would you give Tony Ferguson? I mean, the one name that comes to mind to me, actually two names. Gregor Gillespie coming off that win last week, or a Paul Felder.
Putting him right out to pasture. I'd love the Paul Felder fight. That Gregor Gillespie fight, do not take that, my guy. Do not take that. Do not take an Islam Makhachev. That's probably what they'll do.
Or the rematch with Kevin Lee. That's how
Kevin Lee's going up to 170.
Oh, he is?
Yeah, that's what he said. He's called out Mike Perry, and Mike Perry apparently turned him down and all this stuff, so who knows what's going on there. But, yeah, I'd say there's two dudes you need to avoid, my guy, or else you will be cut from the UFC. It's Gregor Gillespie and Islam Makhachev. Like, those are the two guys. Like, I do not take that fight,
Yeah,
Tony.
he ain't taking the Islam fight, but I think he might take that Gregor fight.
I would love to see a Dan Hooker, Paul Felder, even an RDA, you could do that rematch. That rematch was fucking electric.
That's kind of the thing, though. I mean, now that we're talking about it, we look at every single one of these fighters in the lightweight division, and I'm like, I don't know if I want that matchup for Tony. That's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
it's not a good sign. And it's no disrespect to Tony Ferguson, like none. Again, one of the best lightweights, in the world at one point. But I don't know where he goes. Maybe a Drew Dober at 15.
Oh, my goodness. Ant W coming in hot, as usual. If Nick Diaz is coming back, do Nick versus Tony at 170. Give Tony one last big fight. Fuck yes.
I think it's
I would love that matchup.
Yeah, and I think it would be a fight that Tony Ferguson definitely deserves.
Yes.
But the question is that the best matchup at 170? I mean, Tony's a pretty small guy to begin with.
Yeah, but he has talked about wanting to go up to 170. One, he's cutting so much fucking weight. Once again, this is another guy who's a true 165er.
Yeah. As
fucking usual with most of these 155ers, let's be real. So it's unfortunate, but yeah, I would love that matchup. Like, let's be real. It's like, or you can do Tony and Nate at 170. Maybe it is time for Tony to move up, and just do a couple one-off fights. I wonder how many fights he has left on his contract. It's probably only a couple. Yeah,
and I wouldn't mind seeing him go up to 170 welterweight. Why not? Mm-hmm. Why not? I mean, at this point in his career, if he's not going to fight for a belt again, go and make as much money as humanly possible in the most fun and entertaining fights as possible.
Absolutely.
Right? So a guy like Nick Diaz, I love that. Yeah, I love that suggestion. And that's a fight I'd love to tune in for. That could either that could either headline on a fight night or co-main on a pay-per-view. And
absolutely.
I'd still be stoked for that fight. So.
Absolutely. That would be a fight that where they'd be like, yeah, let's do a 5 rounds. Why not? You're doing Leon versus Nate 5 rounds. Why not do Nick versus Tony for 5 rounds? That'd be fucking funner than hell.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah.
I'd like
Love that suggestion, my man. Let's move on to, I guess we got to talk about Beneil. We didn't even talk about Beneil.
Absolutely.
We got to talk about the guy. Obviously, he looked fantastic. He said, like you said earlier, he's going to take some time off. He wants to have his baby, have his kid. Probably doesn't going to fight for a while. Who does he wait for? Because now with beating a Tony Ferguson, now you get to pick and choose your matchups.
So let's talk about this. Okay, let's try to break down this lightweight division as best as we can. Dustin Poirier is going to go out and beat Conor McGregor. Let's take McGregor out of the situation. Okay. So Dustin Poirier gets the next shot against Oliveira. Okay, so that's set in stone, right?
Then you get either Chandler Gaethje or you get Dariush Gaethje either early next year or late December or something like that.
Which I think there's the matchup. If Chandler has to take some time off, you go Gaethje. But I'll tell you, whoever doesn't get Gaethje gets RDA. In my personal opinion.
Beneil versus RDA, probably. That wouldn't be a bad matchup
That'd be a great matchup.
Yeah.
They're both on the up and up. They're both sniffing for a title. I mean, and it kind of sucks, for Beneil. I mean, he would then move to number 5 and then still fight a guy under him. I mean, he was 9 before this Tony Ferguson fight, and then he's got to go and fight number 7. It's not really that. It's actually a decrease in competition in ranking technicality. So you would almost want a guy like Beneil Dariush to take that Justin Gaethje fight. And honestly, I love the RDA Michael Chandler fight.
Yeah.
And I almost think that Beneil Dariush deserves Gaethje more than Chandler coming off a loss. As much as I'd love to see that fight. That's my ideal fight. And if they made that fight, I'd be like, cool, I ain't mad about it at all. Sign me up for that fucking fight.
I agree too. Actually, I agree with that.
But I think with Beneil on the up and up, man, he deserves to get truly tested with a number 1 contender. And Justin Gaethje is that guy.
And whoever beats Justin Gaethje, they're getting a title shot.
Yes.
So whatever matchup they make, if you beat that man, you're getting a title shot. Yeah. So, I mean, that's probably why RDA is not taking fights. He's waiting for a big matchup to fall right in his foot, whether it's Beneil or whether it's Chandler.
And even
I think Chandler
RDA
would be fantastic.
It'd be a freaking awesome fight.
That would be an amazing fight, and I would love to see it. So, really, yeah, it's super interesting right now. It's super interesting. Islam Makhachev is out there saying, what about me, guys?
Yeah. I know. Sorry, bro. I mean,
so
you deserve it. You deserve it.
Right. For real. If there's anybody Justin Gaethje should be fighting.
Yeah.
It's you, my guy.
We'll talk about Islam later, though.
Absolutely. All right, let's get into our church coin bets. I changed my pick. It was on Dariush for the first, but the fight companion last night, I was feeling it. I was feeling Tony, so I changed my pick for 500 church coin. Did not work.
And guys, if you're watching right now and didn't watch the fight companion, go back because Tabor didn't just do 1 shoey. He did 2 shoeys. In the second shoey, we all spit in the shoe, and then he drank it. It was my fiance's shoe or her cleat after doing 2 soccer games. And then this motherfucker, this crazy savage over here to my left, literally went and did a shoey. Phenomenal stuff. I mean, that is stuff that I will watch for the rest of my life and go like, I was a part of that and I'm proud of it. So a highlight of this podcast nonetheless.
Make sure you check out the fight companion,
Absolutely.
guys. It wasn't the best in terms of fights or fight reactions and stuff. Usually that's what we're going for, but you know what?
We got wild.
When you're getting drunk and you're getting wild, you got to do some things. You got to do some things to keep it going, get all the boys fired up, and it definitely worked.
It was definitely fun. I put 500 church coin on Beneil Dariush to win that, so I won 333.
Viking Savage, shout out my guy. I did it for you. Did it for you, and you're here. Let's fucking go.
Says was legendary.
Let's go. All right, let's move on to the next fight. Matt Schnell and Rogerio Barnteen. I didn't even watch the fucking fight. Like, let's be real. I didn't even watch it.
It was a good fight, though. These guys were throwing
It was. I just was. Yeah. I didn't. What were we even talking about?
We were doing other things. Yeah, we
were doing shoeys. We were fucking getting drunk. I was way too entertained with our conversation. Right. Yeah, unfortunately, I did not watch that. So I guess we didn't even bet on this. That's right. Yeah, we didn't even bet on this.
This fight got moved up because Edmund Shabazi and Jack Hermanson got pulled.
That's right, and that's actually next week. Yeah, weird. All right, let's just move on then. Katlyn Chookagian, Viviana Araújo. This is a fight we just rewatched because during the night I was not paying the most attention, but when I did pay attention, it seemed like Katlyn Chookagian lost the first 2 rounds and then won the third. And then we go back and rewatch that, and Katlyn Chookagian looked great in the second and third. Yeah. Viviana Araújo got gassed bad. Mm-hmm. She was looking fantastic in the first, but the second her gas tank depleted, it was all Katlyn Chookagian, completely outstruck her on the feet. When she got back up in the second round, just dominated from then on. She's completely dominant. This is a girl that, I mean, she strings it together a couple wins. You're going to have to give her a rematch with Valentina. I know, we're just laughing.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful.
I know, but we all know what's going to happen. We all know what's going to happen. Valentina is just going to smoke her again. But you know what? I mean, who else? You got Lauren Murphy fighting, I think, Cynthia Calvillo or Joanne Calderwood, someone like that. So the winner of that fight probably gets a shot.
That'll be competitive.
Well, that fight will be competitive, but either of those girls fighting Valentina will not be competitive.
No. Well, that's the thing. Like, Valentina's just smoked through this whole, I mean, literally this whole division. And yeah, I think Caitlin deserves another rematch with Valentina at this point.
Yeah, well, once she showed the heart.
Yeah.
A lot of heart. I mean, Viviane Araújo was powerful, landing some big shots in the first round.
That girl can crack.
Yeah. For 125er? Yeah.
Dude. She was throwing haymakers. I was like, Jesus fuck. Yeah, dude. But, I mean, again, that testament to how good Caitlin Chikagian is. Yeah. You know, she was able to withstand all that, able to have the better cardio in this fight. She just looked all around better. So, I don't know. I'd say give her a rematch with Valentina Shevchenko.
Yeah, well, she needs another win. I would say one or two more wins. Yeah, how many wins? What is she on right now?
She's number 2 in the world.
Yeah, but it's like, I mean, when you're number 2 in the world and you get smoked that bad in the title shot, it's like you gotta really put something together, in my opinion, to earn that again. I mean, eventually there's gonna be no one else, so fuck it. Maybe she is just ready. She ain't ready.
Well, yeah, I mean, how much longer? How much longer does she have to wait, though?
I don't know. I don't know. I guess until there's no one else.
Yeah.
Which is we might already be there. That's the problem. All right, Caitlin Chikagian title shot next. Let's move on. Nope, church coin. I put 1,000 on Chikagian, and thank goodness she won. Thank goodness.
Yeah, common theme of the night. I put 500 on every single fighter, and I did put 500 on Chikagian, and she won, so I won a 333 church coin.
All right, I got a nice little return of 667.
Nice.
So let's do it. All right. Shane Burgos, Edson Barboza. A fight that we wish we would have been able to watch live, because could you imagine the reaction to that?
Bro, first and foremost, I've never been so frustrated on a fight companion. Opening fight, and I knew this one was going to be a barn burner.
Fight of the night.
I knew it was going to be an insane fight. And it just kept buffering, and I'm losing my patience over here. We're live, we had a few people watching our stream, and I was just like, oh my God, I was so pissed off. But inevitably, we did go back and watch it. In scary. I gotta say, really scary when you see a guy that we were talking about how it was like a glitch where Barboza caught him
with
right
a
on the temple,
clean right hand.
Yeah, man, and he was there, and then he starts stumbling back.
Step back, one step back was all it took. Yeah, and was out. Didn't even need to land a shot. Barboza didn't.
Scary,
it was weird. Yeah. And apparently Aunt W said this. Shout out to you, Aunt W, last night. He was saying that it happened to a boxer recently, and the boxer died later.
Yeah. See, that's scary.
That's very scary. You don't want to fuck around with these brain injuries like that.
But
that was crazy.
One thing that is much different in mixed martial arts than boxing is you're allowed to get back up. You got a 10 count. That's when I think in a lot of ways makes the UFC and MMA a lot safer is you don't get that opportunity. You don't get that 10 count because that's where you start getting real true brain damage. Obviously, brain damage will happen. It's a real thing in mixed martial arts as well. But at least you're not having that continual brain damage, of getting back up, getting knocked down again, getting back up. So
yeah, it was just super scary, and it happened to one of the toughest motherfuckers we've ever seen. We've ever seen. I mean, look at the war he went through in his last fight. No, I mean this fight, this fight was a fucking war.
This fight was awesome.
It was awesome.
It's a great fight.
Barboza looked amazing, and he was eating big shots himself. I mean, fuck, man, the leg kicks he was landing on Burgos. Oh my goodness! Every time Barboza throws a leg kick, I cringe. Yep. I cringe because that shit is like a baseball bat smacking you in the fucking shin.
He's got great kicks.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. It's absolutely ridiculous. Shane Burgos, shout out to you. Hopefully everything's doing good. And I think he might be in the hospital still. He definitely got sent to the hospital last night. Dana White went, hey, I don't want anyone even talking to this kid. Get him the fuck out of here and get him straight to the hospital right away. Because that was scary. I think
that's the safe and smart thing to do.
Yeah, so hopefully everything's good on his end. I'd hate to hear in a couple days that, hey, he needs to stop fighting or something like that.
I hope not. I pray to God not.
Yeah, that would be the worst fucking thing ever.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to Shane Burgos, man. I really do hope he's okay because he's such a fun, dynamic featherweight, and I love watching him fight.
And both of let's be real, both of these men's stock goes up in a fight like that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, you're going to give Shane, let's talk about Shane Burgos.
That's how you open up a pay-per-view?
Yeah. Or
You
let's
gotta be kidding me.
We got to start with the winner, actually. Let's talk about Edson Barboza.
Absolutely.
What do we do with him next?
You know what, dude? It's Edson Barboza.
He deserves a big fucking
name.
fight. A big fight.
This guy's been around forever, man.
Yes. Like, I'm talking Calvin Cater.
I'm
talking Calvin Cater. I'm talking Chan Sung Jung. Or Chan Sung Jung's fighting Dan Ige, actually. You could do the winner of that fight. Or give him Yair Rodriguez. Could you imagine the striking matchup that would be?
It'd be phenomenal.
Oh, my God.
It'd be phenomenal. In a fight that Edson Barboza deserves. This guy's a vet. He's been around forever, dude. And has put on awesome fights.
Yes,
like
his entire career.
Yeah. There's been occasionally where he'll get dominated, if he gets taken down. But, I mean, every single fight this guy has is fun and entertaining. Like, whenever I see Barboza on a card, I get excited. I got excited for this one. Shane Burgos versus Edson. That is the best matchup you could have had.
Yes.
I really do believe that. And I still believe that after the fight.
Two guys that were just going to stand and trade. And that's what they did. And we knew that was what was coming, dude. They just don't give a fuck. And I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. Fights like that make me happy. But Yair Rodriguez, Edson Barboza, that I think is the matchup.
I like that matchup
or
better
Zabit
than...
Magomed Sharipov or something like that.
Yeah, I don't even know if Magomed Sharipov is coming back to the UFC. He's not even in the UFC rankings anymore. We don't know what happened to him. We don't know if,
He just fell off the fucking map or something. Apparently, Ali was asked about this, and he said that Zabit's going to get back in the rankings as soon as they figure out these contract negotiations. Apparently, Zabit thinks he deserves a title shot right away, doesn't want to wait for it. They go, hey, you need a fight. We already have a title shot going down with Brian Ortega and Alexander Volkanovski. You need to fight. And apparently he's saying no. So who fucking knows what's going to happen?
You know what? I'm starting to be of the opinion, honestly. Like, I don't want this sport. The one thing I do not want mixed martial arts to ever be like is boxing.
Yes, and it's becoming that way.
So, exactly. And it's becoming that way. Guys, I don't care who you are. You don't want to fight?
Get the fuck out of the UFC.
Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here.
Say that to fucking everyone that has turned down Islam Makhachev at 155. Get the fuck out.
Well, give or take on that, yes. I think guys like 5, 6, 7 range, definitely should have taken that fight. But, we can get, I don't want to debate this again with the whole Justin Gaethje. I just think that's too far. So I get why Gaethje declined that. But outside of that, guys should have been picking that fight up. But you have so many instances like Colby Covington just sitting around waiting for a title shot. No, you need to fight one more time. And if you don't, then guess what? You're not getting the shot. Do not reward these fighters who will not fight.
Mm-hmm. I agree. 100%.
It's as simple as that. And you know what? That's why I kind of like PFL's their seasons that they do.
Mm-hmm. Everyone needs to fight.
Everyone's got to fight. Mm-hmm. Everyone's got to fight. No, we don't care who you fight.
Absolutely. It doesn't matter if you have a belt or not.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely becoming that way.
Yeah.
We're picking and choosing matchups. And
do not want that.
Yeah. But okay, so Calvin Cater, Yair Rodriguez, those are my two guys for Edson Barboza. If Shane Burgos comes back and he's good, dude, I think you just give him a big fight as well. I'm talking Chan Sung Jung, Dan Ige winner.
Damn.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Why not? The winner of that fight isn't getting a massive top 5 matchup. I mean, I guess it already is a top 5 matchup. Chan Sung Jung's sitting at 4, but I mean, Dan Ige wins that fight. Chan Sung Jung wins that fight. They're going to have to keep fighting down. They're not going to deserve a Max Holloway or something like that.
Well, bro, I'm telling you right now, Yair Rodriguez doesn't fight in the next 4 to 6 months. Pull his ass out of the rankings too. I'm tired of it. The same way with Zabit, pull Yair out of here.
Could you imagine Max Holloway versus Edson Barboza?
Yeah, I could.
I just got hard just thinking about it.
I'm sure you did.
My balls was hot.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's move on to our church coin bets. I put 1,000 on Barboza. It gave me a nice little return of 1,050. I can't believe this guy was the underdog.
Well, funny enough, I bet
me.
fictional church coins on Shane Burgos, lost that, but bet real money on Barboza and won that. So I was, hedging their bet. But no, dude, the value for Edson Barboza to be a plus, what?
It was like a plus 105, I think.
Well,
but still, it was
it was a plus 105 when we bet on a church coin, but at the end of it, he was like a plus 140, 145.
Wow.
In Vegas. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it's like, dude, how do you not take that? It's Edson Barboza. You gotta be kidding me.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the main event, prelim main event. Jacare Souza, Andre Muniz.
I still haven't seen this.
What?
I still haven't seen it.
Oh my God, bro! You literally.
I forgot about this. I knew I had to rewatch it.
Like, it was so loud. And Jacques, what? Does this guy not have any like pain receptors?
No, it's
His
apparently
arm
that's
snapped and
happened.
He's like, ho, ho, ho.
So it's funny you
I'm
say
like,
that.
What the fuck?
If it's anything like the first time it happened, I remember, I think it was like the ADC World Championships or something like that. Jiu-Jitsu World Champion Jacare Souza is, by the way. It was in the World Championship matchup, got his arm snapped in half and kept fighting and won the Jiu-Jitsu match, I guess. Didn't
He's a
tap.
savage.
Just a
It's so
savage.
scary,
Doesn't
man.
give a fuck. He's like, yeah, but you can just have my arm. Just rip it off. It's fine. I can fucking keep fighting. Shocker.
Yeah, they're a special breed of human beings to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Like that's just it's
Did
not
he
right.
tap? That's what I want to know. Did he tap or did his arm
No,
snap?
his
and then
arm
the
just snapped. I did not see a tap. Gideon, did you see a tap?
I didn't see him tap.
Yeah.
Jesus, what a fucking savage. What a complete savage.
Absolutely insane.
I mean, what do we do with him now? I mean, he's got to wait for his arm to heal, so he's out for what, the rest of the year?
When Jacques old, man, he's like 42.
Is he done then?
Yeah.
Bellator time.
Bellator time.
Bellator time, yeah.
Yeah, you're probably right,
it is
honestly.
What it is.
It is what it is. But Andrew Menez, like, okay. Like, he just beat Jacare Souza, and, like, the last guy to beat Jacare Souza got a fat fight afterwards, so what do we do with him at 185? I mean, Edmund Shabazian versus Jack Hermanson is
coming
happening.
this
Does the
week,
winner of that fight maybe fight a Muniz? I would love to see that. Because, if Jack Hermanson wins that fight, what a grappling matchup that would be. And then if Shabazian wins that fight, that would also be a great grappling matchup. And then Shabazian's got the dynamic striking. There's so much you could do in this division. And I like it. I really like what I'm seeing. Did you see that Sean Strickland's going to fight Uriah Hall?
Real? Oh,
That's a
okay.
good
I like
matchup,
that
too.
matchup, actually.
Maybe even the winner of that fight could fight a Muniz. So there's so many things you could do.
No, dude. You don't give Muniz a guy that high.
I mean, why
I'm thinking
not?
like an Amari Akhmedov or like a Brad Tavares.
Okay.
Like 14, 15. I think
like-
you're getting a little ahead of yourself, pal.
I mean, Jacare Souza's a big name. I know he's older, and I know he's on a bit of a
He's
skid,
older
but
and
he's
he's
a
not
big
even
name,
ranked,
my guy.
man. I don't know.
He's a big name. All right, I think it's time, Mason. Let's move on to some MMA news. Now here we go.
Strap in, folks.
Everyone is turning this man down. He has another fight announced, and I just got to say,
Who the fuck is that guy?
what the fuck? Islam Makhachev versus Thiago Moises? Another unranked guy? Well, before you say that, every single person in the top 15 turned him down, apparently. Every single one. Not a single, like, let's list names. Going down who didn't have matchups. Justin Gaethje, Connor had a matchup. RDA, Dan Hooker, Paul Felder. I guess Dega Ferrer just fought. Drew Dober, he already beat. Every single person turned him down. What in the fuck is going on at lightweight? It's turning into boxing drama and like fucking diva shit.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you get a guy like Islam Makhachev, yeah, again, big star over in the Middle East, not a big star here in the USA. It's just one of those things. Like, do I agree that they're all turning him down? No, I think Justin Gaethje had a right to turn him down. But outside of that, man, Rafael dos Anjos should have took that fight. Dan Hooker should have took that fight. Paul Felder should have took the fight. But again, it's Islam Makhachev. Like, this guy's a savage. This guy's Habib Light. Like, I don't want to be disrespectful there because he could very well be as dominant as Habib one day, but again, give him time. But yeah, it's crazy that this guy, number 10 in the world, has got to fight another guy who's unranked. What are we doing here?
It's ridiculous.
It is.
I mean, at some point, someone has to say yes. They can't just everyone avoid him forever. Like, what are they going to do? Like, there's a reason why Dana cut Leon Edwards. There's a reason why he almost got kicked out of the UFC. He got removed from the rankings. They made him fight. You have to do that with some of these guys. You cannot just let these guys hold their spot. I have so much respect for Paul Felder. One of my favorite commentators. One of my favorite people in the community. But at some point, you don't deserve your spot if you're turning people down below you. You don't deserve that number 10. You don't deserve to be in the rankings, in my opinion.
But to be fair, like Paul Felder has done a lot for the UFC. He's taken fights on literally a week notice.
It doesn't matter at this point. Like, Islam needs to fight.
That's that MMA
I'm
short-term
saying?
memory, my guy. Paul Felder?
What do you mean? It shouldn't matter. I don't care if your fucking name is Justin Gaethje. You turning down a guy, like, it doesn't matter. It shouldn't matter. This is the UFC. The best fighters in the world are supposed to fight the best fighters in the world. RDA agreed to fight him. It fell out. Yeah, because he turned him down. He turned him down when it actually came to getting the contract.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you with RDA. But where you and I completely disagree with is Justin Gaethje. Gaethje is tried, true, and proven fighter. He wants a top contender guy. Beating a guy like Islam Makhachev is not going to get him the title
Then why
shot.
did they almost kick Leon Edwards out?
Dude, we've been over this.
I know, but
because
why?
He turned down multiple fights.
Then why are we not doing this? Why is Paul Felder and RDA and all these guys turning it? I don't get it. It's ridiculous. And it's pissing me off because now we got a guy who's going to be on a 6 or 7 fight streak and he's only fighting unranked fighters. Someone has to say, yes, we need to do something. We need some way to, I don't want to say force these fighters into it because you really can't, I guess. But I mean, at some point, it's like, what in the fuck are we doing? I don't know what to do. Like, I don't know what to do.
Nostalgic says RDA agreed to fight him and it fell out.
That's what I was talking about. Because that's what I read. RDA agreed to fight him, but it fell out. Well, RDA turned him down, my guy. He turned him down. Islam will be favored over anyone in the division right now. Also, I don't blame RDA for turning him down. He took the fight. Islam pulled out. Okay, that's news to me. RDA took on Felder in 5 days, so he should fight up. Yeah, but RDA beating Paul Felder on a losing when he just came off that Dan Hooker loss, is that enough to give him a top 5 matchup? In some people's eyes, yes.
Well, see, that's where I think. Yeah, I mean,
because we're in the situation where people are sitting around waiting for big matchups, and it's like now we're fucking guys over who need to be built up.
Right. And when was that RDA Paul Felder fight? I feel like that was near Christmas.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It's been a while. I feel like that was winter time when that fight happened. But I mean, RDA obviously going out there beating him. RDA does deserve to fight up. So yeah, Paul Felder should have took the fight. Dan Hooker should take the fight coming off a loss. Like those are the guys most where it's like, hey, you got to take it. But again, Paul Felder, coming off a bit of a skid, taking that fight on 5 days notice. And you got a super tough guy like Islam Makhachev. What if he loses that fight? Then you're going to start asking questions. Oh, should Paul Felder retire?
You know what they're going to do? And it's the worst thing. Like I said it earlier, it's the worst fucking possible matchup for him. But they'll do it like a Tony Ferguson. Because Tony might be the only guy that'll say yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's going to be the only guy that'll say yes. And I'll have the most... Whoever says yes to this Islam Makhachev fight will have my utmost respect forever. And I will never talk shit about them. They'll never get this noise. But everyone else in the top, everyone else in the lightweight right now, turning this man down, you deserve that fucking fart noise. You deserve it. I'm sorry. I don't know what else to say. It's stupid. I really feel bad for Islam. He's totally fucked. He's totally fucked. And he's a massive star. He's a big name. It doesn't matter that he's number 10 in the world. Rankings do not matter, guys. There's a reason why Leon almost got kicked out of the UFC. And there's a reason why they gave him Khamzat Chimaev. Eventually, the star outshines the number. That's my point.
All right.
Okay.
I love the passion.
Let's move on to some other news. Paulo Costa and Jared Cannonier got announced.
Yeah.
As a main event. I believe this is going to be July or I think it's July or August.
I can tell you the exact date because I will be on my honeymoon in Las Vegas. It will be August 21st. First, and I cannot wait for this fight, man. I am so excited. I will be placing a bet on this fight, and you can bet your ass I am not betting for Paulo Costa.
I don't know. That's a good fight.
No, it's a great fight.
I don't know who I'm going to take it. The gun to my head, I might be going with Cannonier, but I mean, at the same time, like he got completely outclassed by Whitaker in that last fight. And if Paulo, as long as he doesn't drink wine, he has proven to be one of the greatest middleweights we've seen in a very long time.
Absolutely. He is 0-1 against wine. Okay, but outside of that, the man is undefeated. He is a savage middleweight fighter. I can't wait. I can't wait for that fight. I think that's the best matchup to make right now in this middleweight division. I'm all around excited for that. I'm wondering if that is going to main event the fight night.
I'm pretty sure it is.
Yeah, because we saw August 7th, Amanda Nunes versus Juliana Pena was going to happen August 7th, and I'm assuming that's headlining that UFC pay-per-view. So,
yeah. Yeah, but so with this other matchup, we kind of have like a little bit of a middleweight tournament going on.
We do, yeah.
We got Derek Brunson versus Darren Till has also been announced. I'm pretty sure this is the week before or 2 weeks before this Costa fight. Mm-hmm. Another great matchup. Is it going to be the most exciting fight? Probably not. Like, let's be real. Derek Brunson probably just takes Till down if he can. Or at least he's definitely going to try to. I don't think he's going to try and strike with Till. Till's striking is so well respected in this division. Mm-hmm. And it needs to be because he's definitely got crazy knockout power. he just hasn't pulled the trigger as much. He's trying to really be this counter striker guy, and it's just his style. It's the way he's always been. So I'll probably take Derek Brunson in that fight.
Yeah.
I think Brunson's going to find a way to land some punches and mix it up real well and take Hill down, dominate him on the ground.
I got Till in that fight. But here's the thing. I mean, look at this middleweight division. This is what happens when you have an active champion. This is what happens when everyone will fight anyone at any time. So now we just, with the announcement of Paulo Costa, Jared Cannonier. That's 2 and 4 fighting. Marvin Vettori is getting the crack of the belt June 12th against Israel Adesanya. That's
with
3
Robert
fighting
Whitaker waiting in the wings.
Exactly. Who is #1 contender right now, who will get the next shot right after that. We'll probably see that fight at the end of the year. And then you've got Derek Brunson, Darren Till, 5 and 6 fighting each other, and Hermanson and Edmund Shabazian next week. And then you just said that Uriah Hall was probably going to fight Sean Strickland. So, I mean, dude, things are moving along in this middleweight division, and people aren't sitting on their hands.
Yeah.
And it's so crazy. You go one division down, and you got guys who just won't fight each other.
Yeah.
It's insane.
It's insane. Absolutely insane. And lightweight's probably the worst one when it comes to that.
Right now, at this point.
Yeah. Let's move on to the light heavyweight division. Santos versus Johnny Walker is in the works. Is this the matchup to make for both of these guys?
Yes. I love this matchup. I got to be honest. Both explosive, dynamic power punchers who can literally put your lights out. Johnny Walker is extremely unorthodox. He's kind of had a tumultuous run in the last 2-3 years in the UFC. You know, Santos coming off a couple losses now. I think this is the perfect matchup to make in this light heavyweight division. Absolutely.
I actually agree with that 100%. I mean, Santos is a motherfucker. And then you get Johnny Walker, the hype machine that was.
Yeah.
That was,
yeah. I mean, people were saying, remember he was on that streak, I want to say in 2018.
Yeah, when he was just flatlining dudes in 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Yeah.
And like throwing crazy elbows and just knocking dudes out and then celebrating and trying to do like the worm or
and
whatever.
Ever since then, it's just been fall from grace since then.
It's been rough, man.
It started with the shoulder injury, and that was a serious shoulder injury. Like that same injury has ended careers. So only want the best for Johnny Walker, but This is a rough fucking matchup for him, my guy. Like both of these, someone's going to sleep, right?
Yeah,
probably early.
Yeah, but
if Santos throws,
that's the thing. That's the thing. And unfortunately, after that John Jones fight, at least me personally, I have not seen the same Thiago Santos that I saw against John Jones. Man, for whatever reason, he seems. I don't want to say timid. I hate that word because they're fighters. They're not timid. They can knock your head off. But he seems hesitant. I'll go with hesitant, more hesitancy. And I don't know if that's coming with more experience. He's trying to pick his shots more, but I don't know, man. I'm seeing a different Thiago Santos than what I'm used to.
I agree. He's definitely fallen off a little bit. I mean, it's been 2 fights in a row. That Rakic fight, he just got completely outclassed. Yeah. That was probably a fight he should have won.
Yeah.
Or at least a Santos before that would have won. I mean, remember, he flatlined Jan.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Santos has still got it. If he throws some wins together, he could be back in the mix. It's just losing to a Johnny Walker would be the worst thing for him because then it's like you're probably not in the title picture anymore. All right. This actually shocked me when I heard this news. Anderson Silva is making his return, not into the octagon.
No.
Thank goodness.
He is retired from mixed martial arts.
For good, which is what he said, because apparently he got offers to go fight in Japan. I don't know if it was Horizon or if it was from some smaller organization.
I guarantee it was probably Horizon.
Probably. They don't give a fuck, and probably run by the Yakuza, so either way.
That's allegedly. I do not know that.
Allegedly, whatever. Yeah, it's definitely run by them. Anderson Silva will be boxing. Julio I can't even say it.
Julio
can't talk.
Cesar
I'm
Chavez
struggling
Jr.
today, my guy.
And Pops is on this card too. Senior.
Shoey's got me all fucked up.
Yeah, no, it did. He's got E. coli and he's got some shit going on over here. Corona.
Without a doubt.
But Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. is fighting Anderson Silva in a boxing match. I'm not quite sure what kind of the rules are. I'm assuming it'll be an 8-round bout.
It's a professional bout.
Oh, so it'll be
10 to 12.
Yeah.
I think if they're said 12 rounds, 12 3-minute rounds or 10 3-minute rounds.
Yeah, probably 10, my guess.
Yeah.
But I mean, Anderson Silva, you know, what is he now? 45, 46 years old?
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know if I want to see him box. I mean,
no, not a guy who's legit and is probably a former world champion. Like, I'm not a boxing guy, so this name kind of goes over my head, but I've heard it many times. I've heard it many times, so I don't know.
Senior.
Yeah.
Senior's fighting on this card too. He's
fighting someone else.
He's fighting
not
a big
another
name,
MMA
another
fighter,
boxer. Yeah, no, another boxer. I can't
know
remember.
boxing.
I don't know boxing either. But nonetheless, we had to talk about it because it is the Spider. We got to give him his due, his respect. And
if he gets
watch the
flatlined,
highlights for.
well, if he gets flatlined, like, what are we gonna say? Be like Anderson, like, fuck, man, like, don't just stop, please, like, do something else, like, open up a school, like, come on, can you imagine the jiu-jitsu school, how big it would be in Brazil?
But it's his life, and it's something that he wants to do. You know, and like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't force him to drink. And if he wants to continue to fight, we can kind of lead him down this path and say, you know, like what Dana White did and said, hey, it's time to retire. It's time to hang up the gloves. But I mean, if he doesn't want to, like, it's his personal choice.
I'm not going to watch it. That's my personal choice because
no,
that would be
is.
my way of saying I don't support this, my guy, because it's just I think you're done, and I don't want to see you take unnecessary damage.
No, I feel that. One of the greatest to ever do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Anderson the Spider Silva.
Absolutely. And boxing's so much worse for CTE and brain damage and stuff because one, you're absorbing so many more hits, and then almost always just hits to the head. So
I think the training will be easier for him, though.
Yeah.
Easier on his body.
That's what he was saying. He said training MMA is just too hard, and that's why he doesn't want to do it. And it's like, bro,
makes sense.
that shouldn't be the reason why. You don't want to do it no more. Like, I think it should be father time. But let's move on before I'm too disrespectful. Anthony Rumble Johnson is in the news for not good reasons.
He's in the clinker, man.
Is he in jail? No, he got out on bail,
he
I'm
did?
pretty sure. I'm pretty sure he's out on bail. But he did get arrested very next day after his Bellator win.
Didn't he get arrested? Someone was saying on the Fight Companion he got arrested at the stadium.
Yeah. Or maybe it was right after the fight. They were waiting to raid him, dude. How fucked is that? Just got off a big wins, your highest of highs, and lowest for lows to him because he was so disappointed in his performance.
Sir, you're going to have to come with me. Are you security? Are you going to escort me to my locker room? Thank you. No. We're here to arrest you for identity. Damn it.
He's like, sir, is your name Julio Martinez? And he goes, yes. Like, Anthony, just come over here.
Anthony, you're going to come over here.
Can you imagine being that guy that had your identity stolen
by
your
Anthony
credit card?
Rumble Johnson?
You're getting your credit card charged, and it's Anthony Rumble Johnson.
Out of all the people, like
crazy.
And why? That's what I don't understand. It's like, dude, I would assume Anthony Rumble Johnson is doing far better than you and I. Why would he need to steal an identity?
Yes, but why did Michael Vick feel like he needed to have dog fights in his backyard?
That's true.
It's the next high. It's the next high, right? You get so used to the highest of highs and all this thing, and you need a new thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So maybe him breaking the law in this small, minute fashion was him breaking the law. It was enough for him to get his fix, you know, because he's no longer doing the adrenaline dumps of MMA anymore.
No, that's true.
It's crazy. It's a crazy story. I was
it's
shocked. I thought it was
a
a fucking meme. Like, I didn't believe it the first time I saw it. I was like, no, he's not. He's not stealing people's identity. No, but it was real.
Yeah.
Crazy. All right.
Okay. NW says Chavez Jr. was a prodigy, but fell into drug issues and started quitting in the ring. He's been basically disowned by Mexican fans.
Oh, no.
Wow, that's...
Oh, no. So the Brazilians are going to hate him, too. This guy has nobody on his side. This guy has nobody. Anyways, let's move on. Dana has said he's interested in booking Stipe versus John Jones because the John Jones negotiations with Ngannou are nowhere near where they should be.
And that's what he said. But Dana White in the post-fight conference said, well, John Jones doesn't want it. So John Jones doesn't want anything. You know how Dana gets. Dana is...
Who the fuck is that guy?
It is what it is.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it?
Well, one.
I don't give a fuck.
The green.
God damn it. Sorry, Damn.
That was bad. That was peak content.
It's these fucking glasses. I can't see shit in them.
I can't take anything you're saying seriously.
No one takes me seriously to begin with.
But back to Stipe, John Jones, that's just something Dana's saying, right? Like, he doesn't actually want to make that fight. He's just saying that to try to pressure these negotiations forward, correct? Like saying, oh, he wants $30 million when John publicly has been saying 12 to 15 every time.
Yeah, but I think it's in between that. But John Jones is working with Ali Al-Abadiz or whatever now, so you know, hopefully we can get negotiations for that. But Dana White came out and said Ngannou's getting Derek Lewis next. That's
damn near set.
Yeah,
damn
plain
near
cut
set.
dry.
I think
that fight's going to happen.
Yeah, I think they were saying October or something like that.
Yeah, which I'm stoked for that fight. It'll be as good as the first one, guys. If not better. If not better.
If that fight shits, if that fight shits, dude.
No.
It can't, right?
It can't be any worse.
It can't be worse. But if it is,
It won't be.
What do we do? Do we just be like, okay, Ngannou, just give up the belt?
No, if it is any worse, you never have that fight ever happen again. Period.
Yeah. Viking Savage. John Jones versus Stipe is a good warm-up fight before the Francis fight. And Ant W. Dana White is so full of it after he just screwed over GSP. I'll never believe a word he says again. I really don't believe much that Dana White says, especially when he's talking to the media about negotiations.
Screwed over GSP. No, he said GSP couldn't go over and fight a fucking YouTuber, which I'm glad. I'm glad Dana White turned that down. We need to quit giving these schmucks any more credit. These Triller idiots. Like, I'll never pay for another one of those.
Well,
ever
devil's
again.
advocate, if GSP wants to go fight, he should be allowed to. But he's locked up in contract, and that's shit that I don't like on the side of the UFC.
Yeah.
Like, if you got a guy who's retired and he wants to go do an exhibition boxing match, I don't give a fuck if it's Jake Paul or someone like that. He should be allowed to.
Yeah, he should be. He should be. But I mean, you're dealing with one of the greatest of all time. It's. I don't want to see him box. Like, why? I know you want to make some money, GSP, but
Yeah,
it's like,
exactly
dude,
why.
your legacy, man.
Yeah.
And even if he goes out there and dominates a guy like Kamaru Usman, okay, like Usman is the welterweight champ. He's going to be as dominant, if not more dominant, than GSP was by the end of his career. Why would I ever want to see Kamaru Usman fight Jake Paul in a boxing matchup? Why?
Well, Jake Paul probably knocks him out.
Fuck off, dude.
He probably does.
That's so stupid. That's no.
Yeah.
Kamaru Usman is knocked out.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. MMA striking and boxing is that different, my guy.
No.
I think there's a good
that
chance.
might
There's
be
a good
the
chance that
worst
Tyron
take.
gets knocked out when that fucking fight happens.
Okay, maybe Tyron. But I mean, maybe Tyron, which I don't even. But Kamaru Usman, no fucking way, dude. That guy hits Jake Paul, the YouTuber, in the body, and he's gonna crumple.
Yeah,
Kamaru
I'm not
Usman has
saying
got so much
he
power.
doesn't have power, my guy. I'm saying that in terms of boxing skills, I wouldn't be shocked if Jake Paul had him beat.
But you're not just saying beating him. You're saying Jake Paul knocking him out.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked.
He's fought guys. He's fought the best of the best. Gilbert Burns, taken huge shot by Gilbert Burns. Huge shot. Went 5 rounds with Colby Covington. Yet you're telling me that Jake Paul
Paul hits harder than Colby, 100%.
Hits harder than Gilbert Burns?
Probably, yeah.
Hits harder than Tyron Woodley?
That one's debatable.
Bro, come on, man. I think I think this is a little hyperbole. You might be on the Jake Paul train a little too much here.
I'm not on the Jake Paul train. I think the guy's a fucking clown, and I'd love to fucking fight him in the streets. I don't care if I get knocked out.
Yeah, well, no, if you or I tried to fight Jake Paul, we'd definitely get knocked out. But, dude, fuck, man. No way.
I just wouldn't be shocked because they're like, I fell into the hype and all that shit. But I mean, the reality is that boxing and the boxing striking skills and just MMA striking skills are completely different. They're completely different, my guy. Triller was going to pay $5 million to GSP for a boxing match with Oscar. I'm guessing Oscar De La Hoya. Dana just cost GSP money while refusing to give him a big fight with Habib. Yeah, I guess you're right. I mean, if fucking GSP wants to go fight Oscar De La Hoya, he should be allowed to. The fact that he is under contract and Dana won't just release him, like just release him from the contract. Let GSP go make money. I don't give a fuck if he's fighting fucking clowns like Oscar De La Hoya.
Yeah, but I definitely don't agree with the fact that Dana wouldn't let GSP and Habib fight. You know that was a fight that Dana wanted. That fight does more numbers than any fight. Any fight. It does more. I think that sells more in Canada and around the world than even a Conor at this point, more than a Conor 2.
You think they just didn't want to pay GSP?
Probably.
Yeah.
Probably. And there's so many variables that, I mean, we saw GSP a few years ago do that weight cut test. Getting down to 155, you look pretty healthy, all things considering. I just don't think, for whatever reason, that fight came to be. I don't know if it was contract negotiations, but I can tell you right now, Dana White would have loved to see that fight.
It was money, guaranteed. Yeah. GSP probably just wanted too much, and Dana. Well, I mean, I don't want to say he wanted too much because he deserves exactly what he's asking. Let's be real; these fighters are underpaid, criminally underpaid by the UFC. Like, let's be real with that. So, yeah, Dana don't want to pay it. There's a reason why he's not giving the GOAT, the greatest fucking fighter of all time, what he deserves, essentially. Let's move on. Dana said he doesn't think Kayla Harris is ready for the UFC. I agree with this. This one's going to be real fucking quick. I agree with this.
Why?
That's it.
Why? Why do you agree with that?
Because I don't think she's
You
ready.
don't believe that a 2-time gold-winning athlete is not ready for the UFC when she pummels everyone in the PFL?
She'd be competitive. I think easily top 5 and would probably get a title shot. But Amanda smokes her.
Then that's ready for the UFC. What are you talking about?
Dana said, okay, it's not that Dana said that she's not ready. It's that Dana said that he thinks her people think she's not ready. Or else she would already be in the UFC. Like, why is she fighting these girls no one's ever fucking
She's
heard
under
of
contract with the PFL. I mean, she was the face of the PFL. They literally built that organization around her initially.
And she's having a lot of problems with them right now. So
of
guarantee you
course.
she's coming to the UFC.
Bro, I'm telling you right now. Yeah. No. Kayla Harris, she's going to win the $1 million, and then she's going to sign with the UFC, and they will make that Amanda Nunes fight happen with
you're
Kayla
right.
Harris.
You're right. I shouldn't say she's not ready. You're right. That was bad word choice, but I will say she gets smoked by Amanda first round.
Ooh.
You don't think so?
Ooh, no.
I think Amanda
She's a big girl anyway.
her.
She fights at 155.
Yeah, so it'll be 145. She said she can make weight, and I think Amanda, not having to cut weight, will smoke anybody in the world. Wow. She's proven it.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I think Amanda Nunes is obviously the GOAT. Easily. I mean, she definitely has that title. But, dude, you give Kayla Harrison another freaking year or two? What?
Aunt W, shout out. One nostalgic said, Kayla fights cab drivers in the PFL. Aunt W, Kayla makes almost $2 million a year beating up soccer moms. Screw going to the UFC and fighting Amanda Nunes for $200K. 100%.
Yeah, that is true. She makes a hell of a lot more money over at PFL than she does or would in the UFC.
Yeah. Viking Savage, I love you, my guy, but no, I do not believe Israel Adesanya loses to Marvin Vettori. I do think it's going to be a great matchup, though, so I can't wait for that next one. Fight Companion coming soon for that as well.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to the preview show. Okay, and is it confirmed? Are we going to do a Fight Companion this weekend?
Do a Fight Companion. We'll do another Fight Companion this weekend,
Hell
guys.
Yeah. Rob Font
yeah.
and Cody Garbrandt from the main event.
I love this main event.
It's fantastic. Look at the card, dude. You got Yan Xiaonan, Carlo Esparza, Justin Taffa versus Jared Vanderera. Don't know them, but it's a heavyweight banger. So
no, we know Taffa.
I know Taffa.
Yeah.
I know Taffa for sure. I just don't know this Jared guy very well. Felicia Spencer, Norma Dumont, gonna be great. Probably first round submission. David Dorvac versus Raulian Pavia. Probably fucking butchered that horribly. Both up-and-coming guys at 125. And then to round it off and start the main card off, you got Jack Hermanson, Edson Barboza.
Okay, how the fuck?
What?
How the fuck does that fight lead off this card? How is that not
They've been
the third
doing that.
fight? It's so strange.
Well, I think they've been doing that lately, though. You know, you put a banger fucking firefight that probably should be co-main as the opening fight of the card. You get all those people in. Oh, shit, what a fucking crazy fight. And then you get them to watch the other guys, the up-and-coming guys.
To be fair, though, I am not upset about this co-main in the women's strawweight division. Janssen versus Carla Esparza.
That's going to be a fantastic fight. I can't wait.
That's actually... I don't know. I'm really excited about the Rob Font, Cody Garbrandt fight, but that might be my fight, man. Janssen versus Carla Esparza. That's going to be a barn burner.
It's going to be a great fight.
Carla, great fight.
Yeah, I don't want to start with this, but if Carla takes her down, oh fuck, it's going to be a rough night for Jan. But if it stays on feet, it's the other way around.
Let's start at this main event, though.
Yeah, we always start at the top.
Yep.
Always start at the top. Rob Font is coming in at a minus 125 favorite to a plus 105 in Cody Garbrandt. What a great value, in my opinion, on Cody Garbrandt. Because, I mean, no offense to Rob Font, that Marlon Moraes knockout was impressive as all hell. But, I mean, he has yet to prove that he can contend with these title shot these title contenders. Like, Cody Garbrandt gets a win. He's going to be clamoring for a title shot eventually.
Hold on. Who are you saying?
Rob Font.
Rob Font literally just knocked out Marlon Moraes.
Yes, I know. And I said that was most impressive, but history has shown Rob Font is one of these guys that builds his way up to a top 5 matchup and then has lost those matchups in the big lights. And now I think this is his first main event against a former world champion. This is a fucking big fight for the guy.
Yeah.
This is the biggest fight of his career, I would say. If he can pull it off, I mean, people are going to be saying, okay, Rob Font's next.
Yeah. Well, in the resume speaks for itself. He went out and beat Sergio Pettis, who is now the bantamweight champion over in Bellator. He beat Ricky Simone in 2019. You know, and then obviously Marlon Moraes in 2020.
That was a big win.
And that was a huge win. And then Cody Garbrandt, you know, after losing 3 straight, comes out and knocks out, who was it in the last second?
It was not Dos Anjos.
No,
it was
Assunção.
Assunção,
Rafael Assunção, which that was a highlight knockout. And I think probably would have won knockout of the year if it wasn't for that crazy, who was that? It was against Kanasa Nagane.
Ken Hasanagane got knocked out by Joaquin Buckley.
Joaquin Buckley,
That's
that
right.
shit was insane. That
Yeah.
spinning kick. Never seen anything like that. Straight out of a movie. But yeah, man, I love this matchup. But
Is this fight going 5 rounds?
No.
Someone's going to sleep, correct?
Yeah.
That's what I think too.
And I mean, come on, you're talking about Cody Garbrandt. When the guy sees red, he will literally just throw with reckless abandonment until he gets caught or someone else gets caught. You saw that against TJ both times. You saw that against Pedro Munoz, when they were just going back and forth, and then, eventually he got knocked out. So, yeah, man, no, this fight is not going the distance. I almost would have rather seen the Jan Zanon Carlos Esparza go 5 rounds because this is not a 5-round fight.
Yeah.
It's not a 5-round fight.
I understand what you mean there, but
Yeah.
I agree. This fight does not go 5 rounds. This is the biggest talking point for me. What Cody Garbrandt shows up? Is it the Cody Garbrandt that's going to go wild, is pushed down in his mouthpiece
Yes.
and fucking throw wild punches and get knocked out himself? Or is Cody Garbrandt going to be in the Matrix like he was against Assunção and like he was against Dominic Cruz?
I love Cody Garbrandt. I think he is a beautiful human being. He's done a lot of really cool things.
And he's struggled a lot with injuries as of late.
Yeah, he has.
And health
But
issues.
It's Rob Font's time, man. It is Rob Font time. This guy has gone out there and beat the best of the best. Ricky Simone is a fucking savage. He beat him in 2019. The way he was able to dominate Ricky Simone and then to go out there and beat Marlon Moraes, the former champ. Come on, dude. Like this guy is ready. I think he's ready now at 18-4. I think he's going to go out there and I think he will dominate Cody Garbrandt.
Even if the Cody that was in the Matrix shows up?
Yes.
Oh, I disagree 100%.
Yeah.
I disagree. I don't think if that Cody Garbrandt shows up, I don't think there's anybody in the world that could outstrike him.
I don't know. I like the momentum here with Rob Font. I think he's the better fighter. I think he's the more ready fighter. Yeah, I think he'll go out there and win.
I wouldn't be shocked. I'm not saying Rob Font has 0 chance. That's definitely not what I'm saying. I actually like Rob Font a lot in this fight. It depends on Cody Garbrandt. Like I'm going to say it. I'm just going to repeat myself. If Cody Garbrandt shows up like he did in his last fight, is calm, cool, collected, and actually turns it into a chess match, it's anybody's fight. It's anybody's fight. They're both technical strikers. But if Cody comes out like a wild man like he did against Munoz and he did against TJ, he's going to get knocked the fuck out.
Well, in this, there are huge implications for the bantamweight division with this fight. Number 3 fight, number 4. Obviously we got the pushback with the TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen fight, at 2 and then whatever TJ is going to be ready.
That is yet to be rescheduled yet either. So a winner of this fight could leapfrog that fight. And we'll see. We still have to wait for Jan versus Sterling again. And who knows when that's going to happen.
Who knows? I mean, that could be a year down the road. I think eventually they're going to have to strip Aljamain.
Yeah.
If he doesn't fight soon. I mean, when I say soon, within the next 6 months. But, bro, he won that belt by DQ. You can't sit on it for a year and a half.
No. No, and he said he wasn't. He's already done, and he's recovering. He's not back to training full yet, but he's working out. He's running. He's working, and he's actually putting pressure on his neck.
Yeah, and I said too, give him time. I said give him 9 months. I think that's fair. 9 months is fair. We'll see where his injury's at, how he's healing up. But at some point, I think when you hit that 12-month mark, you got to make a decision. Are you healthy enough to fight and defend your belt? Or are you going to vacate that belt? And I think fair is fair. If he does vacate that belt, then you give him a number 1 title contender when he comes back, or give him another crack of the belt.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
there's just too many killers in this bantamweight division right now.
Yeah, you can't hold it up.
No.
Can't hold it up, especially when you win the belt like that. So,
And especially when 3 is fighting 4 and 2 is fighting the former champ. These guys are actually fighting each other in this division. So it's only fair that these fighters who are actively fighting deserve these next shots.
Absolutely.
Right?
100% agree with that. I'm going to go into my pick. I'm going to go with Garbrandt. I think if Cody comes out, he's going to be in the Matrix. He just needs to keep cool. If he keeps cool in the head and he doesn't bite down on his fucking mouthpiece and just go for it, he's going to win. I just don't see anybody outstriking that man. It's the roughest matchup you can make. But I'm going to say it. He needs to keep cool. Is he going to get punched in the face 5 times, get pissed, and then make mistakes? That's exactly what happened every time he's lost. Every loss, he has done that. He's gotten angry, and he started fighting with his heart and not his brain. But when he fights with his brain, I don't think anybody beats him, other than maybe TJ Dillashaw, Corey Sandhagen, people like that. But I think this is a great matchup for Cody. I'm going to go 5 coin on Cody Garbrandt, and plus at a plus 105. I know it's just barely plus, but still, that's nice. That's a great value in my opinion, especially for him.
All right, yeah, no, I'm on the Rob Font train here. I think he's definitely the dark horse in this division. I think obviously more prevalent now after the wins that he's had. But I like Rob Font. I like his career. And he's kind of had the Oliveira career.
Yeah.
He kind of has, man. Where it's just like, those big fights, he might lose one or two. He's been here for a while. He knows the game. I like Rob Font. I think he's actually going to knock Cody Garbrandt out within three rounds.
Okay.
This fight won't go to championship rounds. Within 3 rounds, I think Rob Font KOs him or TKOs him. I am very confident with this pick. I'm putting 1,800 church coin on Rob Font for the win.
All right. Shout out Naked Snake. Aljo ain't no champ. # not my champ. We said not my champ.
Aljo. I thought he said Aldo.
Aljo ain't no champ, not my champ.
Yeah.
So funny. So funny. Hey, everyone in our chat section, thank you so much for being active.
Yeah.
Ask us questions for the end of the show. We are almost there. We're going to round out this preview show, and then we're going to move on to questions. So ask us anything and be part of the conversation.
Yeah, literally ask us anything.
Yeah, literally. All right, let's move on to the co-main event. Yan Xiaonan and Carla Esparza. Woo! Oh my goodness, dude. Carla Esparza, I'm sorry, you're getting knocked the fuck out. I'm going 1,000 church coin on Yan. Dude, the striking that this young girl has, I shouldn't say young girl, young woman, up and coming Chinese fighter. It's fucking fantastic.
Yeah. No, dude, she's
crazy good. I don't want to compare her too much to Zhang because Zhang is fantastic and amazing and has knockout power like we haven't seen at 115 pounds since like Jessica Andrade. Like I'd say maybe a turn on Andrade for knockout power. Like those two are the fucking pinnacle of that. But Yan Xiaonan's up there. She's got crazy power and she's the most technical kickboxer I've seen in a very, very long time. I'd say she's more technical than Zhang. It's just Zhang makes up for it with the power. I can't wait for this fight. We're going to test her jiu-jitsu. We're going to test her takedown defense. If she can stop the takedown with Carla, she will 100% outstrike her. And that's my take. 1,000 church coin, Yan Xiaonan.
Yeah, I'm kind of going back and forth on this fight. Initially, I really like Yan Xiaonan. I really think she could be a potential champion in the strawweight division. But Carla Esparza is no joke either. I mean, she's beaten the best of the best in this division and has been around for a little while. But I'm going to go with Yan Xiaonan here. I'm going to put 700 church coin on her for the win.
Alrighty, Justin Tafa, Jared Vendura, a heavyweight banger. Cool. Someone's going to sleep early or it's going to be boring because these boys' cardio ain't going to last that long. So, Justin Tafa, I'm sorry, my guy. I am going with Jared Vendura. He's got more fights. He's got more experience. He's an unknown guy in the UFC. I have seen Justin Tafa a few times. He's got knockout power for days, and he is the Aussie. I'm sorry, Viking Savage. I'm sorry, my guy. I can't go with your guy. I'm going Jared Vendura. I'm going to throw minimum church coin bet, a 100 church coin on the guy.
Viking Savage, I'll be your friend today. I am going with Justin Tafa here. I think he's going to KO him. Well, hopefully we see some fireworks here. I'm putting 200 church coin on Tafa for the win.
Yeah, well, he's a minus 200 to a plus 170. I'm just going to go with the better bet.
Yeah.
The better with I guess value, I guess.
There you go.
All right. Felicia Spencer, Norma Dermott, 145-pound women's division fight. I don't know the odds. I do not have those pulled up. If you don't mind someone pulling those up for me, that would be nice. Felicia Spencer coming in off of her loss. No, I believe she fought once, actually. She fought once since the Amanda
Norma Dumont is a plus 120. Felicia Spencer coming in at a minus 140. So it's a pretty closely contested fight in Vegas odds-wise.
I'm going to go Spencer. I know Norma Dumont's a jiu-jitsu girl. She's got fantastic jiu-jitsu. She's probably great off her back. She's probably got great defensive wrestling, blah, 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 all the talking points there. But, I mean, Felicia Spencer's just better. Like, I just think there's no one that can compete with her on the ground other than Amanda Nunes. Like, she's just proven to me to be the better ground fighter. If you go down with the ground with Felicia Spencer, you're probably getting choked out and finished, or even pounded into the mat. She's got knockout power as well. So Felicia Spencer, I'm going to throw 500 church coin on her. Even though she is a favorite, I just don't see Norma Dumont competing with her.
Okay, well, fair is fair. I'm going to go with Dumont here. She did get knocked out by Megan Anderson, but bounced back against Ashley Evans-Smith. I'm going to go Norman Dumont. I'm going to lay 300 church coin on her for the win.
Alrighty. Now, next fight, David Dorvik and Raul.
Yeah, that was close.
Yeah, Pavia, whatever.
Try that one again?
I'm just going to do that. Just going to say Pavia. Anyways, this is a couple guys I'm not really all too familiar with at the moment. I believe they're both contender series guys. Dorvik's only had 2 fights in the UFC. I think Pavia's had about 3 or 4. So if there's a reason why this is on the main card. It's probably going to be a banger. And 125ers have been fucking showing out lately. Like, let's be real. They are going to war. Hopefully this is one of them. I'm going to go minimum church coin bet, 100 coins on Pavia. Apparently he's got great jiu-jitsu. And, you know, when you don't really know these guys all that well, I usually lean with the jiu-jitsu guy because if it goes down to the ground, I just have to give him the advantage every time.
Yeah. Raulian Paiva. He's a very young guy. He's only 25 years old. He had an impressive win over Mark De La Rosa, knocked him out in the second round back in February of 2020, and then beat Ziluglas Zumaguluvav. That was pretty close, was it not? He also got a decision win over him. I'm going to go with David Dorvac here, though. He's had a few wins by impressive fashion. He's a 28-year-old. He just beat Jordan Espinosa here and beat Bruno Silva. So I am laying, 300 church coin on Dvorak for the win.
Alrighty. Jack Hermanson, Edmund Shabazi. Jack Hermanson coming in at a minus 160 favorite to a plus 135 for the Golden Boy.
Yeah, the 23-year-old savage Edmund Shabazian.
Oh my goodness. What a fucking matchup this was. This was supposed to be a fight we were supposed to see last night. Didn't happen. Got moved back a week. I don't know why. They didn't really ever disclose a reason or not. I don't know if it was a positive COVID test that maybe got turned into a false positive, and then they just moved that week back. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just glad it's happening. It's a great fucking matchup. I'm going to stick with my pick from last time. 500 church coin on Edmund Shabazian. I just don't see, if this stays on the feet, he's going to outstrike Jack Hermanson. Jack Hermanson's great. He's got fantastic striking. He's got great hands. He's got great takedowns. He chains them all so well. It's just, if it stays on the feet, I just see Shabazian probably knocking him out. Like, he's got dynamic, unorthodox striking, I would say.
And no disrespect to Jack Hermanson here, but he is not, obviously he's an athlete, he's a fighter, but he's just not at the same caliber as a young gun Edmund Shabazian. This kid's got power. He's explosive. He's fast. And I think it's going to be too much to handle for Jack Hermanson. I think if Jack can get it on the mats, I think he has the possibility of submitting him.
Absolutely.
But again, like, you got to get Edmund there. And Edmund's just strong, and this kid is so fucking powerful. Mm-hmm. I really think Edmund Shabazian knocks him out in the first round. In the very first round, I am going Shabazian 1,000 church coin, and at a plus 135, this is a fantastic value for Shabazian and a great potential bounce back win after coming off that first loss that he had in the UFC to Derek Brunson. So.
Yeah, and because of that loss, I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if Hermanson found a way to get it. I'd love to put 1,000 on church coin on Shabazian as well, but he's got to come back after that. Yeah. Because one loss, when it's your first loss ever and it's a big high-profile loss like that, it could fuck with you. It could definitely fuck with you mentally. So hopefully that isn't happening and Edmund can just bounce right back. But, I mean, this is a tough matchup for him. Like, let's be real. If it goes down to the mats, like you said, it could be different. I would not be shocked if Jack Hermanson submits him. I would not be shocked if he pounds him into the mat for 3 straight rounds. So, asterisk this fight, guys. It's going to be a great fight to open up the main card.
Absolutely.
All right. We do have a question. Viking Savage, shout out.
Hell yeah.
If Izzy wins his next fight, does he fight Rob or maybe move up again? Rob needs another crack. He's looked amazing lately.
Absolutely agree with Viking Savage. Unquestionably, if Israel Adesanya goes out there and beats Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker does not have to take another fight. Period. End of discussion. He has won 3 straight since losing to Izzy. And this is another guy, too, that doesn't make excuses, who isn't a guy like Colby Covington to just sit around and wait for a title shot. He said, nope, I'm a fighter. I'm going to go do what fighters do. And he went out there and fought the best of the best in this middleweight division. And he didn't need to. He was undefeated as a middleweight until he fought Israel Adesanya. He didn't need to go and fight 3 times, yet he did. And he proved himself each and every time. You got to reward guys like this. Robert Whittaker does not need to fight again. He gets the next crack of the shot, regardless who wins. Do you disagree?
No, I agree with everything you said, other than the fact that you said he didn't need to fight 3 times. I think when you get finished like that, I think you do need to string.
For a guy who's undefeated in the... Okay, so if Israel Adesanya gets finished in the first, second round like that, you think he's got to fight 3 times before he gets another crack at the belt?
If he gets knocked the fuck out, yeah. And especially in the first or second round, yeah, he'll have to fight a couple times before he gets another crack.
That's interesting.
Unless it's by Robert, you know, because then you already have trilogies built in. So, like, say Marvin knocks him out in the first round, they're giving him the automatic, immediate rematch, correct? They have to, because it'd be a trilogy fight. They've already fought twice. So
Yeah.
it would set up the perfect trilogy. Let's see who the real best fighter is. Same with Robert. Let's say Israel beats
I'm just
Marvin.
confused because Stipe got knocked out by DC in that first fight, and he got an immediate rematch. Do you think he deserved that rematch?
Yes, because he was the greatest consensus heavyweight of all time. He had the most title defenses.
At that point?
Yes.
At that point?
Yes, he had the most title defenses.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough. Yeah, I don't know.
I think you're
three
biased.
straight fights.
That's what I
that's-
think.
that
I
was
think you're
very
biased
aggressive.
for DC, my guy. Like,
To
let's be
DC,
real.
I'm not even talking about DC. I'm talking
You said
about
if
Stipe.
but when he
Do you
got
think
knocked out,
Stipe
you said he
deserved
didn't-
the rematch.
Yes, but
I
you're
said
saying
nothing
when
about DC there.
you said when DC knocked out Stipe, did
Yes.
Stipe deserve the immediate rematch? And I said yes because he had the most title defenses of anyone else in heavyweight.
Okay, but I'm just talking about champions. Period. Like champions do deserve. He does. What I'm saying is like he doesn't have to fight 3 times in a row. He didn't have to do that. He could have done the exact same thing. I mean, Colby Covington, he hasn't even fought 3 times
And he
since
should.
losing. Yeah, he should.
So we're on the same page.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Where's
think
the
so.
disagreement?
I don't know. What
Are we
what's
disagreeing,
your-
Gideon? We need a third opinion.
I'm confused.
I'm gonna be
here.
honest with you guys. I don't even know what you're arguing for. Like, I thought you both were like on the same page, and then you said something about DC and being biased, but I don't think Mason was like making a point about DC.
I
He was
wasn't
making a
trying
point about
to.
Stipe.
That's where we all went kind of crazy. I don't know what happened.
I don't know. Stipe is a tough. The DC
Yeah.
Stipe thing we got to stay away from because I think it gets heated on this podcast. Let's go back to questions. Let's see here. Does Logan Paul really stand any chance against Floyd Money Mayweather? Oof. I mean, size advantage wise, yeah, maybe. But I mean, because Logan Paul's going to come into this fight 30 pounds heavier. But dude, you're talking about maybe the greatest boxer of all time in Floyd Money Mayweather. I don't think he's going to be able to hit Floyd. And if he does, I think Floyd will just roll with the punches.
If
But
he
that's just
lands
my
the
personal
luckiest
opinion.
punch of all time, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
It'd have to be the luckiest punch ever landed.
But at this point, it's an expedition, and I don't put it past these guys to try to make the most money as possible in some shenanigans horse shit to happen. Let's look at the state of boxing. It's so sad. It's so sad. Like mixed martial arts, UFC, PFL, Bellator, like they put on entertaining cards, like in fights, and at least it's competitive. Like this boxing stuff is a debacle, and we get excited for one boxing match a year, which that boxing match this year will be Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua. That's it. But outside of that, Canelo's fucking incredible and only continues to get better. But outside of that, are we ever talking about boxing? Is anyone ever talking about boxing?
No, I don't give a fuck about boxing. I don't
dude.
even give a fuck
No,
about
man.
Canelo.
The state of boxing is so sad to me.
Yeah.
It's so
Yeah,
sad.
well, champions don't fight each other. Canelo's the only guy trying to fucking unify all the belts. And Fury, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, other than those two guys, everyone just fucking picks and chooses their matchups. They fight cans. They fight guys they already know they're going to fucking beat. So I just don't like boxing. It's just the state of boxing today is just, it's gone downhill fast. Yeah. It's gone downhill real fast. And the Paul brothers are probably at the center of it. Like, let's be real.
Viking Savage, if Izzy loses, Usman could potentially be getting the next shot at the middleweight strap. Remember, he said he's watching that fight closely.
Yeah. Yeah, but if they're boys, would he really want to do that? Would he want to take Izzy's fucking immediate rematch away?
Well, yeah, and here's the thing. I think Kamaru Usman is a man of who's an honorable human being. I think Izzy, though, if Izzy didn't have the belt, let's say Kamaru Usman hypothetically won the belt, I don't think Izzy would sit around. I think vice versa. I think Kamaru Usman would give the respect to Izzy and never fight him for the belt. Like, let's say, like, if whatever, which I know it wouldn't happen. I'm just saying if Israel somehow made it down to welterweight, won that belt, Kamaru Usman wouldn't fight him. But I think Israel would fight Kamaru Usman if Usman had the middleweight belt. I really do. There's no way.
It would be a personal slide.
Well, exactly.
You know,
exactly.
if I was Israel, I would take that personally.
Yeah.
Like, we're boys, and you just took my fucking belt from, you took my immediate rematch one, and you took my belt too.
Yeah,
Like, he'd
bro,
have to feel slighted from that.
Yeah, and
especially the way Israel is a fucking savage and just completely always is motivated by shit like that. So
Yeah. So I don't think that would be good news if Kamaru Usman did that. But would that be a fight I'd want to see? Hell yeah. Kamaru Usman versus Israel Adesanya? That'd be an awesome fight. But I just don't know if it'll ever happen. And I don't know if Kamaru Usman will ever move up to middleweight. I really don't. I think he'll just blow through the welterweight division again And then, I mean, maybe in 5 years, 3 to 5 years.
I think eventually he won't have a choice. It's like,
Yeah, he'll
okay,
have
either
to.
you go box Jake Paul and fucking potentially get embarrassed in front of the entire world, or you go move up the middle. You have middleweight. I mean, he's a big welterweight. The man is cutting a lot of weight to get to 170. So I think that's the natural progression towards things. Fury versus Joshua will disappoint. Boxing is just in a bad place. People act like Joshua didn't just get knocked out by the kid from the Up movie. Do you not think so? I got to ask you, Nostalgic, is Joshua versus Fury, do you think that's going to be a bad fight? Because honestly, like, I wouldn't be shocked if fucking Fury knocked Joshua out and then they do an immediate rematch there, and then maybe Joshua knocked Fury out. Like, they'll probably milk this for all the money they can. Like, let's be real. Let's be real.
Absolutely.
Does it go 12 rounds? It could. It could. Maybe. He went 12 rounds with Ruiz.
Yeah.
You know, Ruiz, I don't know if you guys have been paying attention to this or not, but obviously we're still unboxing here, but Ruiz looks fucking good. Like, really good. The man has lost, like, I think 100 pounds or some shit like that. Like, and he looked all right in his last fight. But I mean, was he really like what the fuck happened with that Joshua fight? Joshua should not have been finished like that.
But I think he was such an underdog. He didn't expect to win that fight, and I think when he did win it, he got all the fame and success and all these interviews, and I think it might have just got to him. Because that pressure does happen. You see that with a guy like Robert Whittaker, with Rose Namajunas, where sometimes these people win the belt and it ends up being overwhelming. Mm-hmm. I think that's very much what could have happened to him. Mm-hmm. You know.
Well, apparently he was sick the day of the fight and shit like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So, well, that's just could be an excuse, but anyways, Fury will probably box him from the outside for 12 rounds. It's gonna be a snooze fest. Yeah, that's just Fury style, right? Like he's gonna pick and choose his shots and all that shit.
Viking Savage, what's your opinions on Charles basically calling out Conor to fight him in Brazil if he wants his next fight? Here's the thing. It's like, I don't blame Charles Oliveira for doing that because he wants to make as much money as humanly possible. I get the matchup. I get why Charles, from strictly Charles' perspective, I get why he would do that. He wants to make money. He is the lightweight champ of the world, and he knows unquestionably that he would make easy work of Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah.
And but
unfortunately, I don't think the UFC, like we talked about this off air, I don't think the UFC fights in Brazil for a very long time.
No. That ain't happening for 2-3 years.
Mm-hmm. So it's maybe if somehow Dana greased some hands, you're like, hey, Rio, you trying to open up for just this weekend?
Just this fight? 100% capacity?
You never know, dude. And you know Brazilians will be going nuts.
Oh, hell yeah, dude.
Nuts. Screaming, whatever, you're going to die or we're going to kill you or whatever the fuck they scream.
I think logistically, though, I just don't see that fight happening.
No. I think Conor gets knocked out,
Yeah.
and then Charles is going to defend his belt against Poirier or something like that.
Yeah.
Got to piss? I can tell you're dancing over there.
Yeah, you're dancing. Dancing, dude.
Let's end it then.
All right.
Hey, everybody, thank you for watching our live stream. Make sure you go subscribe to the channel and smash that like button.
Yep.
All righty then. So, Twitter accounts, Facebook, Instagram, at the Church of MMA. Guys, if you aren't following us already, make sure you go and do it. We are posting funny memes. We're trying to make you laugh. Hit us up.
Yeah, guys, please be sure to smash that subscribe button. Trying to hit 1,000 subscribers so we can get that community page, dropping memes and polls. A lot of things in the work for this podcast. Thanks for watching. This is the Church of MMA podcast. My name is Mason Knight. That is Tabor Cragen. And until next time.
Peace.